All right, welcome everybody to another version of Topcon Talks Agriculture podcast. Today we have a very special guest. It's the birthday boy himself. It's Greg Peterson from the Peterson Farm Brothers. Greg, welcome to the show and thanks for taking some time out with this busy time of the year to join us.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here and excited to talk with you.
Perfect. Now, Greg, let's kind of go through what's happened over the last 7 to 8 years of your life. You grew up on the family farm in Kansas, I believe, and you left there to get an education. You came back with kind of turning the farm into something more than just grain and cows. Kind of take us through what that was like.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I grew up on a family farm with my two brothers and my younger sister and my parents. And, we always worked together on the farm. Farming was always, I wanted to become a farmer, but I also felt like I wanted to do something along with it. And so I do think that's one of the things I was exploring in college because I went between a couple majors. I majored in ag business for a semester and then ag economics for a semester. And then I switched my sophomore year to ag communications just because I felt like I was passionate about communicating and it's a very valuable skill to have, whether that's on the farm or, in agriculture or even outside of agriculture. I think that's one of the best skills you can have. And so that was kind of my experience in college. And then my senior year of college, we were really taking ag communication classes, instead of just general communication classes. And we were talking a lot about ag advocacy in those classes. And a lot of that really primed my brain for kind of what happened next when I came up with our first idea for a music video.
Right. Now, speaking of the music videos, I believe you have, 16 or 20 of them out there now, if not more?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, to be honest with you. I think it's like close to 20 parodies. Right. And then we've done, of course, I think it's like 3 or 4 originals. Okay. So it's all kind of, relative,
yeah,
but we've done quite a few now. It's kind of crazy to look back at how many we've done.
Yeah. So when you come back to the farm from Manhattan, right? And you look at your brothers and you say, "Hey boys, get your best singing voice on. We're going to go make a parody video." How was it that easy? I can't think it was that easy. I have an older brother and I would have been very resistant to this idea. What was the mindset when you came back and you thought of this and you shared your vision and they kind of had to have said, maybe pump the brakes here, Greg? What was the sentiment on the farm?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly how it was. Yeah, like you said, I mean, they were the younger brothers. I've spent my whole life bossing them around, even when we were kids. And so it was definitely that kind of sentiment of, oh, great, Greg wants us to do something again. And but I think they were open to the idea. They were just very skeptical when I said, I've got this idea for a parody music video. I think Nathan, especially the middle brother, he's the biggest skeptic, and but he also, once you get him on board, he's like really on board and he goes after it. But it took some convincing. I remember we went out and filmed the first couple scenes of I'm Farming and I Grow It. That was the first video. Yeah. And then I showed them the scenes on, the video camera and they're like, "Oh, okay, that looks really cool. Like maybe this will be something that works." And I think the way I convinced them to do that first video, I said, well, we're not going to, go halfway. It's not going to be a video that people make fun of because it's not that good. Like if we're going to do this, we're going to make it as good as possible.
Right. That's awesome. And so now when you come up with a new parody or an original or whatever, and it's time to make a music video, is it the same process over again? Or are they just kind of like, here we go, kind of a day with Greg and the video camera, or is it some convincing every time?
That's a good question. I think it's yes and no. I think there's always been this, if I'm not pushing them to do this, they would rather just farm,
right.
And
right.
We even make a joke about that at the beginning of our All I Do Is Farm video. I think Nathan says something like, all I want to do is farm. Like, I don't want to film a video. But they recognize what we're doing. And it's the same thing with our dad. There's always kind of this pull of, well, I'd rather just farm and not have to put myself on camera all the time. But
Yeah.
you know, our bigger goals of teaching people about agriculture and entertaining people, inspiring people. That's why we do what we do. And Nathan and Kendall and our dad and our whole family, everyone's on board with that. But it does take some pushing, just like any, you know, just like a coach has to push his players. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the one who pushes people to get things done, and
Right.
so that's definitely, it's always been that way, even today. So.
Yeah. Who would, out of the brothers, would do the most writing of the parodies and the most lyrics and dance moves? Is it all you, or is it a group effort, or one brother strive in one area more than the others?
I do, you know, almost all the lyric writing. A lot of what Nathan and Kendall do, they provide feedback. They help come up with filming ideas, just kind of creative help with what I'm doing. But I really, once Nathan came home from college in 2016, I stepped back off the farm a little bit.
Okay.
I worked full time on the farm after college for 3 years until Nathan graduated, and then ever since then I've worked about half time to 2/3 of the time. I do a lot of office work. I do a lot of editing, a lot of creative. So I'm the one who has time to focus on writing a parody, or
Right.
you know, doing all the editing, doing all the production work. So it's something that, you know, Nathan and Kendall cover for me on the farm, and so, you know, I do work on this side of things.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship. So
Truly is a team effort. And one thing that I have to say I appreciate about your videos is, you guys don't really cover anything up for the cameras. Your farm is your farm, and when something's wrong, something's wrong. One of my favorite scenes is when it's in a forage one. The cameraman, and I think it's one of your brothers, is walking up to your dad who's cleaning the forage harvester windows with his bunny hug. Or
yeah.
sorry, not bunny hug, a hooded sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Very Saskatchewan terminology there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like you see that more often than not, right? And the fact that when you see that kind of stuff, you understand that it's a real farm operation, and farming is happening that day, and nothing's going to get in the way of that being done. So you do what you need to do. So I do have a true appreciation for that when you watch some of these videos that look staged. When it comes from the Peterson Farm Brothers, it's definitely true, off the cuff, and definitely appreciative by probably many viewers, I'd imagine. What was your dad's original thought? He would obviously be the elder statesman on the farm, and when he heard that his 3 boys were going to kind of maybe take a little bit of time away from a work day to do a music video or a parody video, what was his thoughts? Was there some convincing there?
Well, Dad hardly even knew we were filming that first one. I mean, we were just filming it little bits at a time, and he watched it before we posted it, but I don't think he, you know, it was just a video we'd made, and our friends were going to watch it, and that's kind of what we were thinking too. But then when it started to blow up, I mean, he was, you know, his eyes got pretty big at the very next day after we had uploaded that first video. It was at like, you know, I think it was like 50,000 views or something by the end of the day. And he was
right.
Which back in 2012, that was a little different than today. I feel like today we see all the videos, you know, go a lot bigger, a lot faster. But back in 2012, that was really going viral. And so I think he was really a little overwhelmed by that. And he was kind of in denial for a while of just how big the videos were going. That people would come up to him and be like, your boys are famous. And he's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And it took him a while to kind of come to grips with it. But I talked about how I'm kind of the coach and what makes things go for the videos. He's still he helps us get things done on the farm. He you know, he brings our focus back into, okay, well, we got to get the work done before we can get the videos done. I mean, the farm still takes priority over the videos. We do not just, you know, sacrifice our farm work to make videos. We try to, at minimum, film the videos while we're farming. So.
Right. You kind of mentioned that when you first came up with that first one, farming and you know it, correct? You're just maybe hoping to do a little bit of fun, have some fun with it, put it up on YouTube, get some buddies to watch it, and see where it went from there. Deep down inside, what was your original intention? What did you want to get behind this? I know you've tagged a lot of great things, a lot of advocacy, a lot of diversity to this work, and kind of built a true brand off of it. Was that always a vision, or was there just at first it truly was just a pure innocent, let's go have some fun as brothers and see where it takes us, and this is what it's evolved into.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think back to what our kind of what we were looking to do with that first video, because yeah, it was just going to be one video. I definitely never thought we'd make more than one, and it was going to be one video. It was mainly designed for our friends, but we knew we were uploading it to YouTube. We knew other people could watch it. We even joked about it going quote unquote viral, but I think we were thinking maybe like a couple thousand views viral, not a couple million. Right. And so, and we, I had never intended to build a brand off of it. Never intended to, do what we've done. I think ever since that first video, ever since we got started, we've kind of taken it one step at a time. I remember, I started a Facebook page the next day after, the video went viral. I started a Peterson Farm Brothers Facebook page that eventually turned into, an Instagram and a Twitter and Snapchat. We built different types of social media, and we didn't sell any merchandise for the first 6 months. But after 6 months, we started selling merchandise, and we didn't do any speaking engagements or performing or entertaining. We didn't do any of that for about, I think, close to a year. And then that started and took off. And so everything we've done since then, it's just kind of been a gradual build. It was never really a vision from the beginning. So that's probably what I'd say.
Well, that's awesome. It's a great story, and it's obviously been a lot of fun, and hopefully there's a lot of years left in it for you guys, and you can continue, because diversity on the farm is a great thing, whether that's diversity in crop or diversity in the ability to work in different areas of communications or actual grain farming or cattle or whatever it be. What's the size of your operation? What's the workload like on the farm?
So when we got started back when I was still in college, we were only at about, I think it was 1,200 acres. Now this last year we covered around 3,000. So we've grown quite a bit, and that's helped bring on all three brothers to the farm, as well as, the income from what we're doing online. You talked about diversity of your farming operation. A lot of people don't realize that what we're doing online and with our entertainment programs, that is allowing all three brothers to farm. Even though I'm only half time on the farm, it allows all three of us to work together while we grow our farm, instead of having to wait to grow our farm and then have a second or third brother come on. And so that diversity has been really important. We also have cattle, and that the number of cattle has stayed relatively the same. We back around about 1,000 head of feeder cattle. And then when Kendall came up from college, he started a cow herd. And so we've got about 100 cow calf pairs. So that's pretty much our farm operation. We grow wheat, corn, soybeans, milo, or sorghum, as that's the official name, sunflowers, alfalfa, forages. We get a lot of comments about milo on our videos, because only people in like Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas call it milo. Everyone else would call it sorghum. So people get confused, but
fair enough. Try being a Canadian working with American company, and the things that I get told is funny when I say them, such as bunny hunters previously. And this opportunity has taken you truly all over the world, hasn't it? You've been to, 8 or 10 different countries on speaking engagements or performances. What's that like, to kind of take this and foster it into some travel, and do you enjoy traveling?
Yeah, I do enjoy traveling. I always have, even before the videos. But yeah, that's probably the number one thing that if you'd have told me when we made that first video that it was going to lead to us, or to me I've been to all 50 states and 8 to 10 different countries, really all just in the last 6 years. And of course that travel has stopped here in 2020. I have not flown since March. So that's been really strange. But we've gotten to be all over the United States, all over the world, been all over Canada. I think I've been to 7 or 8 Canadian provinces. So I really feel like I've gotten to see farming in a lot of different places and meet farmers from a lot of different places. And the more you see and the more farmers you meet, the more you realize just how remarkable of an industry it is. My love for the agriculture industry has done nothing but grow over the last 7-8 years. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of, I think. And I think a lot of people don't understand just quite how big and how diverse of an industry they're part of.
Yeah, and I think from my perspective, in my role with Topcon, I do get to travel obviously all of Canada, and I've been to a good portion of different areas of the States. I think it's absolutely very interesting, phenomenal to see how different farming practices, when you think about the world and then North America within the world and then even Canada within North America, you just go from province to province or state to state, and you see different practices and different concepts and different lands and different styles of farming. It's very interesting to follow along and see what exactly all the different practices are. What's your favorite thing to do out of all this? Is it the speaking engagements? Is it just doing a video on the farm with your brothers? Is it just sitting there doing social media? What have you enjoyed the most about this new portion of the farming life for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that the travel is definitely right up there as one of my favorite things. And getting to meet people who have been impacted by our videos. I mean, mainly like kids. We meet thousands of kids who come up to us and like we watch your videos every night, and we wait when you release a new video. We're sitting there waiting and just ready to watch it, and that that really means a lot to us. But I think also as a content creator, we do some vlogs where we go out and you just kind of record what you do during the day. But
Right.
the music videos are sometimes months of work, of creative work and of storyboarding and filming and editing and putting it all together. And when one of those are finished and you watch it for the first time, completed, there's like a really unique feeling behind that of it's kind of like farming. You put all of this work into a crop or a video, and then at
Right.
harvest, you post it or you haul it in, and there's this sense of completion, and it's just something you can kind of hang your hat on. So that's one of my favorite things as well.
Yeah. What would be, I guess, the very best thing that you have seen come out of this? Is it like in terms of your work? Is it the way that you've been able to communicate with the young farmers? Is it the way that you've been able to advocate for young farmers? Is it the way that you've been able to share your opinions on diversity on the farms? What do you think is your greatest takeaway and your greatest success as an offspin of this venture so far?
Yeah, I would say, advocacy is definitely important. And I think we have been successful in reaching people outside of agriculture, opening people's eyes to what farming looks like. But beyond that, I think number one for me is I hope that the millions of farm families and farmers who have watched our videos, that when they watch them, it gives them a sense of pride in what they do, or it inspires them to just love being a farmer. I think farming is hard. I think there's a lot of farmers who struggle, day to day, week to week, year to year of is this really worth it?
Right.
During the hard times. So I think that may be the number one thing that we've been able to accomplish, maybe, is just kind of reminding people, this is why I do what I do. This is why I love farming. And so that's what it's done for me, I think. And so hopefully it's done that for other people as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, just kind of turning quickly towards the farm operation itself, a lot of things are changing on the farm these days. Everything is kind of going to a new technology. I know that you certainly have your fair share of technology on the farm, but what does new technology and the development of technology on your farm and some of the integrations that we've seen on the Peterson farm over the last year and a half or 2 years, what's that mean for your farm operation? And just give us a brief overview of how the changing scope of the farm is in relevance to that.
Sure. Yeah, I think technology, it's definitely changing, and we've incorporated quite a bit of technology on our farm. We're definitely not where we'd like to be. I think we're we feel like I mean, maybe every farmer feels this way, but we feel like we're just trying to catch up to all the things that are happening. But I think it's going to be really neat to see in the next couple of years just how much more efficient farmers can get, and things that make a farmer's job easier. Technology, it's fun to use. Well, it's fun to use when it works, and it's can really help with what you're doing. I think I enjoy using technology on the farm because it's one area where I am better at it than my dad is, versus like mechanics and problem solving with physical equipment. When it comes to a monitor or working with electronic issues, then I'm the one dad's asking instead of me asking dad. So I like that.
That's where you get to kind of pull your weight at Thanksgiving supper about the time that you saved the farm because of the technology, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Gotta throw that back every once in a while, right? It's important.
Yeah.
I guess something that I was hoping that we could do maybe is a little bit of a rapid question session. All the things that are going on in the world right now, I think we could all use to relax our mind off of that and maybe just have some fun and see what your quick responses are to some of these questions. There's some that are involving the crop cycle and cropping, and some that are involving your music videos, and some that are just time of the year and all that. So, you ready for this?
Good. I'll try to get my brain ready to go here.
Yeah, get your brain going on this beautiful December morning. All right. First of all, your favorite crop to harvest is?
Wheat.
Your favorite machine to operate on the farm is?
The forage chopper, the forage harvester.
And how often do you actually get to operate that?
Oh, we switch off because your neck gets tired. So Nathan, Dad, and I switch off on it for the most part.
Kendall's not allowed to touch it though.
Oh, I don't know. He's the youngest, and I don't know. He just never. That's kind of how it is. I think. So there are some things. Kendall's the cattle guy, so he's off helping with the cows. We got it. So.
What's your least favorite piece of machinery to drive?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what that would be. I'm not rapid firing on this question, I guess.
Mine's a baler. I'm not a huge fan of baling.
Yeah.
Swerving of a round bale, but
I do like baling. I'm trying to think.
We can come back. Let you think of that.
I mean, I like operating all equipment. I think I that's one of the skills I have. Like I said, versus problem solving and mechanical work. I'm a good operator. I'm just not good at fixing stuff.
Yeah. When you guys coming in the morning, this is a little bit off topic. When you come in the morning and you got the day's plans, is it kind of already assigned, or is it you just start calling out what you're going to do, and whoever's last to the team huddle in the morning has got the job that nobody wanted? What happens there?
Well, we meet every Monday morning on our farm, and we kind of do a weekly plan. But during the actual day, there's a video in our Things Farmers Say that we just released where it's, "What's the plan?" Kendall yells, and that's like so accurate. Is we don't always have a plan. We wing a lot of stuff on the farm, and sometimes that causes issues, but it's more fun that way. So,
see, if it was my brother and myself, and we both wanted to drive the combine, we'd both probably just linger around the combine until somebody said it was time to go harvesting. It was kind of like doing musical chairs to see who can get to the ladder first, right? But
we don't work. Yeah, we don't do that too much. I think we're pretty good about switching off equipment. I mean, sometimes during the day, it's kind of like musical chairs. It's rare during like a harvest day that I stay in one spot. I'm usually trying to do everything just because it keeps it fresh that way. And you're not, if you're sitting in the combine for 12 hours straight, you start to get a little weary. Whereas if you're switching around, it helps.
Yeah, exactly. Your travels have taken you all over the world, as we've mentioned. What's your favorite location that you got to go to so far?
My wife and I went to New Zealand. Technically, it was our honeymoon, but I also spoke a couple times while I was there. But New Zealand is beautiful, and it is definitely my favorite country to have seen and to experience. And I hope to go back someday.
Nice, and your wife enjoyed it as much as you did, obviously.
Yes, it was her idea. She's a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so that's why we went.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Well, in Canada, what is the funniest saying that you came across while you were up here that you just had to kind of say, what does that mean?
I just always got a kick out of how Canadians say "eh" all the time, and like when you go to check your bag to go into the airplane, they ask if they can check your bag or something like that, and I'm always like, what? What did you just say? Or no, not check, tag. Instead of saying I'd like to tag your bag, they say I'd like to tag your bag.
Yeah,
and I always do a double take.
Well, tag your bag, eh?
Yeah,
sure.
Tag your bag, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
today's your birthday. What is the best birthday gift you ever got?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think when I was a kid, I got a basketball goal for my birthday, and basketball has always been my favorite sport.
Yeah.
And I remember I was pretty excited. I just went and shot baskets the rest of the day
Nice.
on my birthday. So
do you ever get in that limbo, or you kind of like so close to Christmas, so that people try and say, I'm just gonna give you a big Christmas birthday gift type thing?
Oh yeah. December 17th birthday. It was always during finals week in school, so like no one cared it was your birthday. Everyone was focusing on the test and that it was almost Christmas break. And then definitely as a kid, I got the whole here's your birthday present for birthday and Christmas.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Oh well, nothing we can do about it now, right? So with it being close to Christmas, what's your favorite time of the year?
My favorite time of the year, I think it always used to be summer because we were out of school, but it's changed now, I think, to fall. I really enjoy the fall when it's getting cooler and it's harvest, and it doesn't mean going back to school anymore. So
exactly.
I was not a fan of school. I was decent at school, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. So
yeah, I also was not a huge fan of school. So what's your favorite Christmas tradition then?
Favorite Christmas tradition, we go to like a sunrise or early morning service at church, and like, even before, like opening presents or feeding cattle or all the different things you do on Christmas. That's the first thing we do, and I remember doing that with my grandparents who are no longer here. And so there's kind of just good memories from that, and we still do it every year. And then there was always like Swedish tea ring after the church service, which we live in a Swedish community, and it's like basically like cinnamon rolls. So it's really
nice.
Good. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Your faith is very well noted, and you guys quite often refer to your faith. How does your faith help you in the farm and on the farm?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our faith is kind of central to everything we do, whether that's farming or making videos or just life in general. And I think that's always, when our videos went viral and we were faced with a lot of pressure and a lot of attention, I think that our faith was really what kept us in place, kept us grounded. And I think our parents have always done a good job of instilling that in us. And I also think that our faith, became more of our own as we went to college and came home. And so for us, faith isn't something that is just something that we do because we're supposed to, or something that we do because our parents did. Faith to us is it's the meaning of life, and it's real. It's not just this task that we do. It's kind of interwoven into everything that we believe. And we've got a whole section on our website that kind of walks through kind of what we believe and how we feel. So I always encourage people to check that out.
Absolutely. What's your favorite Christmas carol?
Favorite Christmas carol? That's a good question. Does "O Holy Night" count? Does "O Holy Night" count? Because
why wouldn't it?
My wife and I, we sing "O Holy Night." Well, we've sang it at church, but we've also recorded it and on YouTube and stuff. And I think we did that when we were still dating, possibly. And I was like, oh man, like I like singing with her. So, and I like the song. It's a great song.
Perfect. Yeah. Being from Kansas, are you? I know the answer to this already, but purple or blue?
Purple, yeah. Blue is a bad color when combined with red in here. But as a kid, like I refused to wear blue and red together. I could wear blue and I could wear red, but could not wear red and blue
You just
Kate.
didn't want to be mistaken for anything that you didn't want to be associated with, I guess.
Yeah, for a Jayhawk, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if I was allowed to say it or not, but what about Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, I'm not necessarily against my wife is a big Denver Broncos fan. She's from Colorado. She grew up in Colorado, so I'm not really. I wasn't a Chiefs fan before, but I definitely am not, a quote unquote Chiefs fan now. I like watching Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I'll watch a Chiefs game, but I'm not that invested. And I liked the Broncos growing up as well because the Chiefs were so terrible. I don't ever remember liking the Chiefs. So now that they've won the Super Bowl, my loyalty is still to my wife. So go Broncos.
That's a smart man right there, pledging his football team based on his wife's football beliefs. I wish I could have been that smart a few years ago, but I'm not in the same position. So, so then I guess one last thing that I have to ask before we wrap this up is where is the next 5 years going to be? Where is this going to go? Is this going to continue to grow and grow and grow that you might be off the farm altogether, or is this going to be something that just is going to kind of steady as it goes for as long as it can?
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to be off the farm unless we were forced off, based on like the economy or something. I mean, we all three brothers want to farm together. That's pretty clear. I think the videos, I mean, we've talked about, maybe someday people will quit watching them. Maybe someday we will lack relevance and no one will care and we'll stop. But the strategy I think has always been to create content that hopefully people will watch, will make an impact. And as long as people keep watching, we'll keep making the videos and so social media changes a lot. Social media has changed a lot since I got started, and I could see it changing. I mean, like TikTok, for instance, is like the newest thing, and I feel old when I get on TikTok. I'm like, I don't understand this like I understand other social media sites, and so I think we'll just keep doing our best to do what we can, and but we'll definitely stay farming. Yeah.
Okay, and I got one last question. On average, how long does it take you and the brothers to video a parody with all the corresponding dance moves and all the footage that you need? How long does that on average take you? And what is the best blooper moment you can think about in making those where you guys were sitting on the ground, splitting a gut laughing?
So from start to finish, it at minimum would take probably 2 weeks. I know we filmed Pasture Road in less than 2 weeks from the idea to the upload to YouTube. It was less than 2 weeks. It was very quick. This video we're going to post here in December, this Highway to Sell video. We have been working on that since probably April. And it's just, I've been so busy this year. 2020 has been such a train wreck of a year that it's been a long process. And it's really, I mean, we could have filmed it in 2 weeks, but sometimes things just take a long time. The funniest moment that I can remember, I'm sure there's a lot of them, and you can find blooper videos on our YouTube channel. But when we were recording Chore, Kendall, for some reason, he kept putting an M on the end of chore, and it didn't make any sense, but he kept doing it. And all three of us were recording the audio, and we were we were laughing so hard. We were just crying. And I still don't know why he kept saying chorm, but it was like there was this thing in his head that was messing up, and it was funny.
Just being the youngest brother, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I've been there. So, well, thank you very much for your time, Greg. Very enjoyable to catch up with you. Where can anybody that is listening that might not know exactly where to find you, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find all of our social media on petersonfarmbrothers.com, links to all the social media, but on YouTube, it's Peterson Farm Bros and Peterson Family Farm. We got 2 different channels now. Facebook, Peterson Farm Bros. Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat is at Pete Farm Bros. And then TikTok, most recently, is Peterson Farm Bros. And you can follow us there, but we don't know what we're doing, so.
Might be some good entertainment, though.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Well, thank you again, Greg. Very happy birthday today. Hopefully you get a couple of good presents today. Hoping you and your family and everybody at Peterson Farms all the best through the holiday season as we welcome in what should hopefully be a breath of fresh air in 2021. Look forward to continue to seeing the content coming off the farm, and hope all is well with you guys. Thank you very much, Greg.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for having me.